MMA Heat. I'm here with Chad George at the PKG Training Center in Los Angeles, and Chad's got a fight Friday night, March 16th, against Shad Smith. And Chad, you know, people know I talk about the fact that I come in and I box with you, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But this is an important fight for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, every fight's an important fight. But you know, it's a fight for me to fight back home, and it's a good chance for me to showcase again, you know, what I'm capable of.
Now we should talk, obviously you used to be in the WEC, fought a few times there, got released, but you've been working with BAMMA now for a few fights, also had a fight in New Zealand, right? So you're on the comeback. I mean, do you see it that way though? Do you see it as a comeback?
I don't see it as a comeback. I don't feel like I ever went anywhere. I needed a little bit of clarity. And you know, BAMMA's been a great organization for me to help find it, and then I've been able to travel and showcase what I have around the world, and I'm making statements now that I belong there, and not only do I belong there, I'm going to make a statement.
And so, yeah, it's 3 in a row you've won recently, right?
It's 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
This Friday will be 3.
All right. Oh, nice. I like a confident guy. You know, it's funny, you say that you needed some clarity, and, you know, people say they learn more from losses and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, what lessons did you learn after the WEC, and you know, what do you think you were doing wrong back then?
Well, the biggest thing back then I think that I was doing wrong was not realizing that the fight's really with yourself. I was making it more than what it is. I was appealing to wanting to make a name for myself with images, and not wanting to do the things that I needed to do to better myself, as far as the dieting, the proper training, the ways that I need to put myself together so I can feel confident in myself, not just what other people, you know, say you're good at, or their confidence in you. You know, you have to be really confident with yourself. The battle really is with yourself in the mirror when you fight, and until you realize that, you're never going to be able to handle the pressure of what that big stage is like.
Well, we should say too, actually, you have there's a film about you called Occupation Fighter, which I've seen, which is terrific, and it's a documentary where you're leading. Is it leading up to the Ben Willis fight?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting because you're just talking about the things that you were worried about, the image. Like there's a whole scene in there where you're doing your hair, and you used to be more concerned with having your hair look cool and doing this and doing that. And it's an interesting thing. I think people should look up Occupation Fighter. Was that a good experience for you?
Oh, the film process was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It was almost like the timing was meant to be. Yeah, the situations that happened in the film were monumental situations, as watching me evolve from not just a fighter but as a person, and I was really able to kind of find myself in those weeks leading into the film, and we've gotten responses from all around the world, from people thanking me for the story and that it's inspired them, and I finally really, it kind of was like a light bulb click, you know, and all the stuff that I was doing before, that was just, it was an image. It wasn't the real me on the inside, and it was something that I was just kind of trying to put out there, trying to create an image when, like all of us, you know, you dig deep and there you can find what's really there anyways, and that's what people relate with more, something real, something honest, and I feel great knowing, you know, now I can look in the mirror and be like, hey, what's up, buddy? Like, I know you.
I know you. All right, so you are a bantamweight, but this fight on Saturday, I mean on Friday, you're fighting at a catchweight. You're fighting as a featherweight, basically.
Right, yeah, it's not a catchweight.
Yeah, it's basically as a featherweight.
Right.
But you believe that another win here, because your last one, you've had a couple of KOs, right? So you believe another win here, you think Joe Silva would give you a shout? You think the guys in Bellator will give you a good look? I mean, what do you really
I would like to think so, but you know, right now, Friday is my goal. I can worry about what's going to come after the fight. This is a tough fight that I have. It's a real tough guy. You know, he's been in the game a long time, so I can't look past him. I can't look past anything that, you know, from the moment that bell goes ding. So I really, you know, I'm excited for the future after this fight, but I'm also excited for the future in the fight.
Very nice. And I should bring up the fact that it's funny because we were talking about this morning after class, where Shad Smith is known as the first openly gay fighter, and my first thing was like, yeah, big whoop. Like, who cares? But it's interesting that that's been part of the storyline, and that now that's something that people are asking you about. It's like, yeah, who cares, right?
Yeah, it's not you, it's everybody else.
Right.
You know, it's all the media attention. It's funny because that's really where a lot of the direction it goes. You know, not so much about how's training going. It's, you know, the tip of the typical MO of an interview or conversation about a fight, but it really goes back to the his sexuality preference. And you know, it's no big. I could care less. I've said it, and you know, and he's a fighter. Right. He's a tough dude. So any way you look at it, I mean, he's gonna come to try to knock me out. Right. So regardless, like I know some other guys that, you know, are gay. Right. And they're tough dudes.
Totally, of course.
So you know, it is what it is. It's whatever.
Well, and it's funny because on the one hand I say, oh, it's no big deal, because it's not. It's just a fact. But on the other side of me goes, you know what? It is a big deal, and good for him for just being out there and, you know, I mean, just saying it, laying it out there, and you deal with it or you don't deal with it. I mean, obviously we know that there's got to be other gay fighters. So, you know, props to him for just laying it out there. I don't know. But really, at the end of the day, who cares?
I don't care.
You're not going in there to date him.
No, we're going to go in there, we're going to fight. Right. And he can do whatever he's going to do. We're going to fight, and that's, you know, it's going to be that. So what do you think when you look at the bantamweight picture out there right now? Obviously, Dominic Cruz is the UFC champ. And, you know, I don't know how you feel about him or Uriah, Renan Barão. You've got Bibiano Fernandes. I mean, there's some scrappy fighters out there right now. You know, I'm actually friends with a lot of those guys. Yeah. So I've trained with a lot
Everybody
of them.
Scott Jorgensen. Right?
You know what? Even Scott, you know, he's a great fighter.
Oh, heck yeah.
And I can't take anything away from him. So there's a stacked division in the bantamweights. Right. And I'm ready to put my foot in the sand and say, here I am. So what have you gotten better at? Everything. Yeah. You know, since my last fight in the WEC, I've really focused on the details. My boxing, my jiu-jitsu, my wrestling. I've, you know, gone out and I've worked with my coaches. I've sought out other coaches, and I'm really fine-tuning now. And for the first time in my career, it seems like it's a cliche thing that fighters say that, but it's true. Since I left the WEC, my 2 training camps that I've had, I've felt myself progressively get better every single week in camp. So right now I can confidently say I'm at the top of my game right now that I've ever been, and I'm excited to show it at a heavier weight. Nice. Enough about you. How good am I? Karyn Bryant, how good is she? How good a boxer am I? Well, I think there's a couple other reporters out there that are itching to see how good you are. Oh, you know, here's my thing, and you told me today, you reminded me to sit down on my punch, which is good because I was coming off on my I have the power, I believe. I don't have the speed. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm not the fastest. And you know, my footwork could use a little help. But if you're willing to stand right in front of me, I'll kick your ass. See, that Karyn Bryant said it. Stand in front of her, she will kick your ass. Kick your ass. Move around a little bit. I can deal a little. Just don't be too fast. But you know what? There's no other fast reporter. Have you seen them all? They're all big, except for Megan. She's the only one who'd be scrappy. But she's too small. It wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. But Fontenez, down. See, I wasn't calling names. Sorry, buddy. Fontenez is my pal. And also, actually, give the opportunity to plug away. You're not even wearing your own line right now. But your Soul Expression clothing line is doing pretty well, right? Yeah, the reason why I'm not wearing it is we're launching a new line coming out in April. Okay. So we're not trying to push too much of what we had. Right. We have an unbelievable line coming out mid-April. So soulexpressionattire.com. Very limited run, and lifestyle attire. It's awesome stuff. Cool. All right. Well, you know that I always have a good time in here with you, and I'll be there on Friday. And you know, I know you don't predict fights, but you believe that you know, Shad, you stylistically, you guys are a good matchup. I think stylistically, this is a great fight. He's a banger, and I'm looking to come out and show how good my hands really are. Yeah. So I think this is a perfect fight for me to showcase what I'm capable of, and he's going to try to knock my head off. So for everybody watching that can't make it, watching it online, and going to be there, it's guaranteed action. Cool. I'm looking forward to it, Chad. Thanks for talking. Thank you.